Well, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to what is a very big day here for the Greenlands Farming Contracting. My name is Simulation for the Nation, as always. And we are cruising in the 724 Fendt because we're going to pick up our new combine today. And we're going to start with the header trailer. Then we're going to run back down. We'll go and pick up the combine. Or at least I think that's the order we'll do it in. We'll see when we get there. But yeah, very, very exciting. The John Deere was traded in. I didn't think we we're going to be doing it, but we have. And this is an opportunity that I just could not miss. And we're going to get to show you what it looks like today, which is awfully excited. A few other bits and pieces have happened. We're also going to get the 936 out for its maiden voyage with the Quality Rapid. And we're going to be doing a bit of one-pass tillage there today. But ladies and gentlemen, lo and behold, look at what we have done. We are going for a class. Oh, the beacons are on. A class selection 6900. And this is a beast. It's an upgrade in all areas over the John Deere that we were on, and we're going to look through what this looks like. I'm just going to park this about here for now. We've got a 770 Vario header on there. Now, yes, some of you may think that's a little bit small. We could have gone bigger. We couldn't get a hold of one in time for harvest, would you know it? So we're going to start with this one this year, and then we're going to have a look into how it goes. The output and the capacity for the 6900 would easily fit a 1080 from what I've been told. But for now, at least, we've gone for this. So we'll see how we get on. This is just a beaut of a machine. And I'm very, very excited to use it. It's just me at the moment, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tractor back up to the yard. And I'm going to lift back down. And we're going to come pick up the combine itself. I cannot wait to show you what this is like. It's been something that we're working on. It's going to cost us an absolute fortune in the end to get it. And I did mention that we traded in our combine. We ended up with the combine, the header, and the header trailer. We ended up bringing back about 174 grand, which went straight towards the down payment for the new one, and took a big chunk out of that. So that's good. Obviously, we're higher purchasing the rest of it, so it's tacking on quite a bit to the bill, but it's going to allow us to really continue to increase our output. So that is what's going to be very, very important for us. But like I say, we're just going to take this header trailer back up to the yard now. And then, well, we'll have a bit of a look over the combine. We're not going to hook the header trailer onto the combine today, I don't think, but we'll have the combine there to have a bit of a look through and a rummage through anyway. And well, maybe later on this afternoon there, we'll get into the tillage work. We've recently done a little bit of an upgrade with a few bits and pieces down at the depot, the production depot there. We've actually put skid steering instead of the telly truck. It was just working a little bit better for us. I found it was working really well, so I didn't really get on too well with the telly skid, but the Kubota pack, it's bob on. It absolutely is bob on. So we got a Kubota skid steer there, which is pretty cool, and a little ATV as well, which you might see bobbing around the yard, a little side-by-side thing, which is just a little bit handy to have. Okay, so we'll take it slowly into here for its maiden time up into the farm. One factor that we have to consider as well, if we do go bigger than the 770 header, actually moving it into different areas of some of our contracts won't be easy, and even getting it into the yard itself won't be the easiest thing in the world. So maybe keeping it onto a 770 might be beneficial for us. It currently lives just over here in this shed that we're going to back into now, which would be not impossible to get into, but challenging to get into, to try and get it in next to that class baler down there. So that's something you have to put into consideration as well. Yeah, we're just gonna back her on into here, and yeah, we're in. Class header trailer is in. New class headers as well. Let's not prang it off the gate, off the wall there. That would suck. But yeah, so that John Deere was with us for 2 seasons. It was second hand when we got it, so it was starting to show its age a little bit. Okay, do you know what? I'm gonna leave you about there. Wonderful stuff. It was showing the stage a little bit when we got there, and this just allows us to increase the output. That's why we picked up another trailer there, so when we're doing any long hauls as well, we're good to go. We've been putting a bit of nitrogen down as well, actually, on some of our crops. Looking really good. The grassland around here got an application of slurry as well recently, and that's starting to look really good for itself. It's coming on. Bear in mind, we're only in February at the moment there. It is shooting along nicely. And yeah, we will be going out with this very, very shortly indeed. But first, I need to hail down my taxi driver, and we're going to go and pick up the combine. And here it is, folks. The Class 6900 Lexion Terra Track. An absolute beast. More than big enough for what we need there with plenty of extra capacity. We stuck the wider tracks on it as well, just to allow us to go in varying different conditions. We have got, I think it's got about a 8-meter auger on there as well, which will allow us to get a little bit wider when we need to for a header. And we should be pretty good there. 7.5, 8-meter straw chopper on the back. So it's looking very, very good. I decided to get this little handy mesh on the front here, which will have a couple of beacon strobes on there as well, just to give a little bit more visibility, especially when it starts to get a little bit darker there. Coming around random corners now with gate posts. But this is it. I think it's time for us to get on in and have a bit of a look, see what it looks like. Pull these down. Decided to get these folding steps on it as well. If only because sometimes if you are in really atrocious conditions and this front end goes down and starts to plow a little bit there, the steps are always the first thing to go, which I didn't really want. All right, and in we go. So without further ado, all right, let's get that wheel down there, turn these monitors on as well so we can see what we're doing. And now quite happily, an absolutely ingenious decision by Class this time around. I can move that out of the way. Now this is huge for two reasons. One, because when you got your header on the end there, you cannot see the far end, but now you can see exactly what's being fed into the auger. But when you want to be we don't need this one on anyway really, but when you want to be driving along the road and you want to see what's coming along directly out of the junction, then you can stick that there and you're good. We're gonna get rid of that one. Okay, we don't need any of those. We are just gonna pretty much send it here, I reckon. What we will need to do though is let's fold those back in. We need that. Handy little sun visor there if we really need it. Alright, well, let's get a few beacons on here. And turn our side lights on as well so we can be seen everywhere we go. And alright then. And let's get ourselves away. Perfect. And once we get ourselves back on up to the yard there, which won't take us too long at all, we are going to just show you around this really. Gonna open up some of the panels on it, have a look into it and show you just what it looks like under the hoods really. And away we go. Oof. It just seems bigger. Tracks seem really smooth actually. We didn't have tracks on the John Deere, we were still on wheels. I had thought about putting tracks onto it. But then the cost of doing that really for another season just didn't make much sense, and then this opportunity came around, so we declined it. But yeah, very, very happy we did so now. Now that we've got this here, been waiting for it for a few weeks now as well, and we'll see. But yeah, I am just in love with this thing. It's absolutely superb. Just take our time around these corners. And then we can send it all the way up the straights. Now it's going to stay in the grain shed for now, of course. But then it won't be too far away now, actually, until we start to think about getting everything back out into the fields there. Of course, we're in February right now, so we're still looking at a good 5.5, 6 months until the combine comes out of the shed. But it doesn't hurt to have it here, have it ready. We will likely have some Class engineers coming just to install it properly and make sure everything is set up. I don't know when that's going to be. Obviously, there's no huge rush right now. Okay, make sure it doesn't swing wide there. Happy days. And we're home. It's been a huge year for growth on the farm and on the business here, and I'm over the moon with how it's all coming together. I really am. I think it's just a huge stepping stone really. It will allow us to really jump into some bigger and better things down the line, so that is going to be great. Can't wait for the summer to get this out in the field. It's just going to be absolutely sensational. Right now, though, I think we're just going to take it over by the front of the grain shed there. And let's just take it past there. Got one of the lads out spreading fertilizer at the moment, so hopefully they won't be too far coming back. Okay, so we're just going to open this up and that up. It's just huge, isn't it? No matter which way you try and cut it, it just looks big. And this isn't even the biggest in the range, of course. There are significantly bigger machines out there as well. Okay, so where we need to go with this guy? Oh. For now, we're just going to send it straight back here, I think. Perfect. And this will give us enough space, I reckon. Not kind of in anybody's way. So we've got the 3 screens. One is the CBIS, or the whole general control for the election. This one here is our GPS, and this one here is more of our yield mapping, really. Other than that, a bit of a light on the situation. And now, let me see. I can figure out where these are. That one is going to be, out goes the auger there. I'd love to see that. There go the bin lids. Fantastic, and I think that one, not mistaken, may well be the straw chopper going down. So I think we've got everything else we need to here. We're just going to open that up there, open the door up again. And yeah, let's just turn this off for now, and then let's get out. I mean, it already looks pretty impressive. So I'm just going to show you what the basics, some of the basics underneath are for us. Yeah, get up onto that one. Open that panel up as well, so you can see everything. It's not even got a single drum hour on the clock of it so far, which is great for me. Really, really good. You got your straw chopper clutch in there. This is coming off the engine there. Your belt off of the engine as well. And we will be, yeah, we're all looking pretty good and immaculately clean there. It's just so spotless. Going down into the straw chopper drive as well. Obviously we're in swathing position at the moment there. And then let's just get that open if we can. Gonna have to slide out, I think. There you go. Wonderful. And perfect. Huge fuel tank in there. We're going to use a lot of diesel on this thing. Now it's the balance you got to try and find, really, because yes, it takes a lot of diesel, and there's a rotor bearing in there which is miserably horrible to try and grease. It's going to take a lot of diesel, but you're also going to be faster, right? So you got to try and think about, there you go, what is going to be more economical to get through the field faster and in theory use less diesel, or if you are on the bigger jobs just to fly through diesel. That's a tricky one. Okay, over goes the sign. Gotta be careful up here so you get that one done. And you can blow this down. You got your big cooling fan in here. And then red diesel and AdBlue, unfortunately. But I mean, everything else on my farm is AdBlue these days anyway, so what's one more machine really? And there you go. Isn't it just an absolute beautiful machine? It's absolutely huge, really, really impressive. A lot happening here. It's going to get folded up, it's going to get put into the shed for a while, and now it's not going to get used for some time. But that being said, when it does, boy, is it going to be looking impressive. So with that, what we will do is get this all folded back up again. We might even just leave it parked in the sun for right now, and then it's on into the 936 to do a little bit of tillage work. So let's get this all settled up, moved out of the way, so no one can crash into it, and then we should be good to go. All right, so from one behemoth in its own right to another, we're going to get out and start, hopefully with a little bit of tillage work on the cover crops that we put in, probably last November there, actually. And the idea being here really is that we work it over now. We've got a little bit of lime left up there. We might be able to get a spreader just to hire a spreader in to get that covered off. And then we could be in a position where we'll leave it for a little bit, mulch this in, allow the organic matter to start to heat up a little bit there and to do its thing. And then we could be in a great position to come middle of next month, middle of March, to start drilling. So that is the hope. We'll have to wait and see. But for right now, first things first, we've got two fields. One's about 16 acres, the other one's a little bit bigger, about 18, 19. And we'll see how we get on with those. So we're just going to go straight on through. These fields here, the winter barley and the oats are all looking good. Don't need to touch those in any way. They have had their latest top dressing and they're looking good for it. Pretty clean as well, actually, so that's exciting to see. Excellent stuff. And yeah, we will go in. It's going to be almost a bit of a shame to flatten this, but it's done its job. Provide a little bit of stability to the soil amongst other things for the last few months. And it's actually still looking pretty thick, pretty luscious, pretty green, so that's always good. Yeah, what we'll need to figure out next is just getting this all unfolded. Haven't actually used this yet since we brought it onto the farm. It's been sat paired up to this tractor ready and waiting to go, really. So the first set of discs in this instance, the first set of discs are going to mulch up this this fodder, this organic matter. The subsoil legs behind it will just go through and rip it up a little bit. And then you got the packer wheels at the back there as well, which will cultivate it down and still continue to mince in the organic matter a little bit, but just give everything a bit of a working over there. Now we're going to stop around by here. We'll have to get our GPS kind of set up with the line that we're on. So I think we should be good there. Let's there you go. Wrong spool valve there, and let's just see what happens when we build up a little head of speed. All right, we're away. Just like that, folks. Pulling like an absolute train. Now we're on our GPS. This is 4 meters wide, so it's effectively doing the plow and the power harrow at the same time, give or take. So it's pretty darn efficient, and leaving what appears to be at least a lovely seed bed behind us there. So we will keep pressing on. What I'll likely do is just turn around, go one more pass down, and just check in to see how well it's doing. Oh, it's down. Seems to be coming up very, very dry underneath there. That looks lovely. Really looking good. Now you could, in theory, if you just effectively crimped this over, kind of like mulching a little bit there, you could direct drill into this. We don't have the drill to do that. The pottinger technically could, but it's not going to do a very good job getting through this matter. So we're just going to proceed as we are there, and we'll see how it looks on the other side. But it should come out really, really well. I'm expecting good things, and we'll go and have a look exactly what that looks like around about now. Anything. I think I want to get adjust the height on that link there a little bit. Just get that front set of discs in the ground a bit more. It's pulling back a little bit. I haven't got these set all the way down. You can lower this down a little bit further as well, but I don't want to go too deep. It's doing a good enough job as it is by the looks of things. Look at that. Fantastic. Really, really something. Well, all right, we're going to carry on with this, so you'll probably see us doing a little bit more of this later on down the week as we get cracking through it. Bit of an update, a lot of exciting things happening here with me though. I hope you have enjoyed. This has been another update from the Farmer Contractor series on Greenlands Farm. Until next time though, folks, I hope you have enjoyed. Do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing as always, and we'll catch you later.